Hey, this is Mike. Thank you so much for choosing this video. Today we're checking out the 2025 Jeep Wrangler in the new Willys 41 Special Edition. Now this is the 4xE or 4xE, which is the plug-in hybrid system. When I first saw this vehicle, I'm thinking Army Jeep because it has that olive drab color and the wheels are that olive drab as well. So yeah, 17-inch alloy wheels painted with that green color there, looking cool. And here in the front it has some gloss black here on the grille, so it kind of stands out a little bit, makes it look a little bit classier than just a regular Army Jeep. And it has the head-low projector headlights, daytime running lights, recovery hooks there on the top of the bumper. Now the bumper has the ability to remove these side pieces here, which it does come with a toolkit, so you have a better approach angle. There's fog lights down here as well, reflector LEDs. And this is all steel bumper. Looking at the side, you do have some matte black surfaces here. There is painted fender flares. And then right there on the edge is the matte black. It does have the rock rails there at the bottom, matte black. We have some decals here on the hood, 4xE and Willys with the American flag. Then there's a decal here on the hood, top of the hood, that is a matte black and it has 41 there. It has a little Jeep climbing up the windshield here on the corner. It looks good from a distance as well. Even have the spare back here, has the green, matching all the other ones. It has a full proximity key system with remote start, lock, unlock, panic button as well. Has the Jeep emblem. It's kind of a large key, but it is functional. It has a switchblade style, physical key there when you need it. But it's designed where you could just use the vehicle 100% without taking it out of your pocket or a bag. This is the lock button here. And to unlock it, you put your hand behind the handle. So it's that pretty basic system there. It also has the physical key location here as well. And that physical key door unlock, lock and unlock, is on both the driver and the passenger. All right. And these are removable doors. It does come with a toolkit. There's a handle on here to help you lift up the door once you remove the bolts here from the pins right here. You can lift up the door off the hinges, and then you will need to disconnect the harness and stuff like that. And the little door catch there as well. But you can remove them. Now that you notice that there's no power window switch here in the doors. That's been like that forever, but that's just the way these are as well. And it's all hard touch surfaces, durable, and you have a soft, less hard, I guess you could say, but it is a soft touch surface for your arm, and then a net pocket here at the bottom. There's a threshold area, cloth manually adjusted seats, and they are like a tan color, like army tan, I guess you could say. Looking pretty cool, and they're comfortable. For me anyway. So there's a floorboard. Now they have these mats that are rubber mats, and they kind of contour into the vehicle, and has like a topographical map design, I guess you can say. Pretty cool. It has a lockable glove compartment here. Smooth plastic on the inside. It's got a handle here as well as here. And it has like a kind of like a denim looking cloth right here with some stitching. Looking pretty cool. This one has the power retracting soft top. So you just press a button and you can retract the whole top. The inside of the back door, similar styling as the front, just a little bit smaller. Then it has a soft touch there. Like I said, not super soft, but it is softer than the other part. Net pocket and everything. There's matte pockets on the back of the seats. We don't have any like MOLLE webbing or anything like that back here, like in other Jeeps. It has a bench seat. The battery is underneath the seat. So under here is where you'll find the battery. And you can flip these seats up and actually look at it here. And this is where you can fold down these seats right here. So we can do this. Let's go ahead and do it now. So you can see, so we can add to our cargo space here. Now it's not a flat floor or anything because we have the battery in the way, so we can't lower the seat. But we can fold it down if we need to. And it's a 60-40 split. And it's fairly easy to do. There is car seats attachments on the outer seats there. Armrest with cup holders here in the center. Power window switches here for the back doors right here in the center. You have climate control vents. Little storage compartment there as well. There's the rest of the roof there. There are speakers up here. There's a subwoofer in the back. It sounds really good, the sound system. Look at the back of the vehicle. It has a privacy glass back here. Is a heated rear glass, rear window, with a wiper. And the wiper is kind of hidden under here. You can see it. And it has a little spray there so you can clean it and stuff. The backup camera is in the very center of the vehicle, right in the center of that tire, which is a great location. That's a good idea as far as solving the problem of where to put the camera. The exhaust is there on the right side, fairly well hidden. It does have the towing package as well with the 4- and 7-way outlets. Recovery hooks as well. Parking sensors back here. LED taillights looking really nice and sharp. Good. It has the sensors on this handle as well. So if you need to open this up, all you need to do is have the key inside your pocket and it senses your hand and unlocks the door for you. So you open this up and there's this really cool Willys graphic here on the inside of the door. And it also has there's this little rail system that Jeep basically has a million accessories. And this is one of the places that you can mount some of the accessories. Now this lifts up. You can see the wiper now. And here's the cargo area. Like I said, you can fold these seats down if you need to, add to it. Check out this huge subwoofer. So it has the Alpine system. Now the rails here, or the roll cage basically, they're also body colored as well. So if you take the top off, if you want to take the top off completely, you can expose those rails and they'll be body colored, looking good. Now you notice that these side pieces here are removable. So you can retract the top and then you can take these side pieces right here off. And then there's actually a bag that comes with it. I took it out to save some room here. There's a bag that you can store them. They'll attach to the back of the seat there. So yeah, so you can get the open air experience. Taking those side pieces off, you can take the doors off, retract the top and all that stuff. Now the 12-volt power supply back here is not switched. It goes directly to the battery. So you can see the little battery emblem there. And it will, you can plug it in even when the vehicle's off, and you can, charge accessories or use it or whatever. All right, this lifts up here. And this is where you'll find the charge cable. Since this is the 4xE system, you can charge. It's a plug-in hybrid, so you can use this charger. You can take it with you, or you can take it out, and then you have this little storage space there with a drain. So I would just leave it out, actually, instead of carrying this big old thing with me everywhere I went. So the charge cable that it comes with, it's just a 110. So it takes forever. It's going to take, a long time, hours and hours and hours to charge the little battery that it has. So, upgrading to a level 2 charger would be beneficial. A level 2 charger will charge at 32 amps and it'll charge in like 2 hours, Now, if you need the power, this has a 2-way system. You can plug this into the vehicle, and if you're out somewhere and you need some electricity, it has these outlets here in which you can, power devices. So it's like a power inverter type system with the battery that's on board the vehicle. So yeah, pretty cool system. Very heavy duty, robust cables here, and these are sealed up. But yeah, that's pretty cool. You also have USB-C charging there as well. There is a lockable fuel door here, and it's on the driver's side, just like the other Jeeps, but has a lockable fuel door, which is interesting. A lot of other Jeeps don't have this. But it has a traditional cap, tether, and a little place to hang right here. Keeps it away from your paint instead of just dangling down, scratching your paint, basically. Here's the floorboard in front of the driver's seat. Now, there's the accelerator, brake pedal, but I wish it had a footrest over here. That's one thing about Wranglers that I wish it had. Now, of course, it has to have enough room for a clutch pedal, is the way it's designed, and that's why there's no footrest, I think. But on an automatic like this, just put a footrest there. It would help out a lot of people. So lifting the hood, there's no catch or anything like that. There's just these right here, like so. Once you have those released, there's a center catch here. So you just reach up, I don't know if you can tell, move it to the right there, and you can lift up. Now it does require a prop to hold it up, and the prop is right under the hood, and it swings down, and you put it right where it says prop. So there's insulation under the hood and around the back part of the engine compartment. Also, the firewall is insulated and heat shielded. There's heat shield here on the turbo as well. So this is a turbocharged engine, as well as it's a 2.0 liter 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, but it's also a hybrid system. So kind of interesting. Battery is easy to get to. It's also insulated. So I'm going to read the specs for the motor, and we're going to qualify this information a little bit while we're on the road. So 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque. Don't get too excited. Now it also has a 3,500 pound towing capacity. Now these are combined numbers. So they're combining the peak combined power and torque using the gas engine and the electric hybrid system. But yeah, once we get on the road, I'll just kind of show you what I'm experiencing. The inside of the driver's door is just like the other side, except for it has the side mirror controls here. They are heated side mirrors, and they have the blind spot detection system indicator right here, and the little triangle will illuminate when there's a vehicle in your blind spot. Manually adjusted seats here for the driver, but it also has a height adjustment, and right here is for the lumbar adjustment. I don't know if you can see that. So you have a lumbar adjustment, you have a height, tilt the back, and of course the slide forward and back is there on the front center. To the left of the steering column, there's the headlight switch. So it's off, parking, headlights on, and automatic. This is for the fog lights. You can toggle those on or off. Dimmer switch for the interior gauges is here. The ability to release the fuel door, and then you have these buttons here that kind of tell the vehicle that you want to have hybrid mode, electric mode, so you can force it into electric as long as you have the battery power, or you can e-save. In other words, you can save the electric for future use. So you're headed to a trail, you plugged it in, you charged it overnight or whatever it is, and you have all this energy you want to save until you get to the trail. You know, use that lower end torque for off-road use. So you hit the e-save, and it'll just save most of the battery, like 95% of the battery, until you get to your location, and then you can put it back on hybrid or whatever you want. There's also a tilt and a telescoping steering column as well. So the dash has these little pockets right here and here, so you can put something small, I guess, there. There's also speakers here. It has this little Gorilla glass, I guess. So it has that picture of a gorilla on the corner. But yeah, pretty interesting. And it has the center, this part right here is kind of separated from the rest of it. Kind of has a neat look. There's also a light that illuminates as well when you're charging the vehicle. And this is where you charge it. So you opens up. It's not locking or anything, and it's not sealed up or anything either. This is the seal, this little cap. So when you plug that in, that'll seal it up, and does a pretty decent job. But yeah, it's not really a big deal. These are very safe, even in the rain or whatever, to charge. So you just plug it in, and a little light will illuminate here. There's no night light or anything like that for charging at night. But this will illuminate, and then there's the light there in the dash that'll also illuminate. That'll give you an indicator of, from a distance, you can see it flashing until it's completely charged. And you can see the little legend right there showing you what's going on. Let's go ahead and start it up. And when you start it up, the engine's not going to start usually. It's just going to start turning on screens, basically. And so you can see right there, it says ready. So we're actually ready to drive. The engine will just like turn on and off depending on your needs. And also if you have it on hybrid mode or whatever, depending on what mode you have it in. But as far as the overall comfort, Wranglers always has been a little bit tight for me. I'm 6 feet tall, but it's not really a big deal. I don't really have a problem driving it, but it's a little bit tighter than what I would like to have. Also, the no footrest thing is not fun either. So, But other than that, it's okay. I don't really have a problem driving it too much. I wouldn't go on a long trip, basically. Now, the steering wheel has a very different... This leather wrapping right here feels very different. It looks like it's textured, but when you feel it, it feels fairly smooth. There's stitching there on the inside. It is a heated steering wheel, but it feels good. It has a little softness to it, and looks good, feels good. So you can see the buttons here on the front of the steering wheel, but there's also some on the back. So on both sides, there's an up, down, and then a center button here. And so the up and down on the right side is the volume. The center button changes through the audio source. On the left side, the up and down change through the tracks or the radio stations, depending on what you're playing. And then the center button cycles through your presets only. Here on the front, the cruise control is here. You set whether you want adaptive cruise control or regular, so whichever button you press activates the one that you want. And then you can set with either this button or this button. These also serve to go forward, increase or decrease your speed while you're in cruise control. Resume and cancel. It's pretty self-explanatory. And then this is to set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you, so a further or closer distance. And I like the way it has separate buttons here for the adaptive cruise control. Here on the left side, it has the voice recognition, and once again, separate buttons for the phone. So one button to answer, a separate button to hang up. I like the way they separate those. And then you have this OK and these arrows buttons, which corresponds with the little screen between the gauges. We'll get to that in a second. Windshield wiper controls for the front and rear are here. Turn signal, of course. And then here is the gauges. Now you have physical gauges here. So that would be your RPM, your tachometer. Over here is like a power meter, fuel gauge, engine coolant temperature. This little center screen has the digital speedometer, but it does have additional information as well. So it shows your average miles per gallon, and that's a little skewed. So because I'm not driving the vehicle like a normal person, because I'm doing a lot of filming and stuff, so it's a lot lower than what it should be. How many miles you can drive with electric, how many miles you can drive with power, and then you have the full range there as well, like your fuel range and then the electric range, basically. So you have the trip there in the center right now, but if I use these buttons here, I can scroll through. So you can see it's part of a menu system. So we're all the way down at the bottom. Let's go up. So let's go to number 1. There's your digital speedometer. We can press OK to change to kilometers per hour if we want. Going down, this is the vehicle info. We can go left and right and get more information. We have temperatures and pressures here. Scrolling down again will be your drivetrain, off-road, whether your steering angle, and then you have your pitch and roll there. Scrolling down again will be the status of your cruise control. Down again will be your energy, fuel economy, and you can reset these independently. Scrolling down again will be your hybrid information. Range to empty, efficiency coach, charge and power meter, basically. And then it's the e-drive mode. Range to empty, it basically goes back to the original thing there. And then trip A, trip B, you can reset those independently. Whatever your radio is doing is the next one. 8, 9 is stored messages. 10 will be your setup. So you press OK to enter that. And you can change left, right. So like upper left, you can see right up here. We can change that, or we can change upper right. Up there, we can change that to different things if we want to change that. And then scrolling down again, it will take us back to the top, which is the digital speedometer. So yeah, all using these buttons here. Okay, so the touchscreen here has physical buttons that stay in one spot. It is part of the touchscreen, but they stay in one spot. You can pull down and have shortcuts here as well. There's your home screen, which you can add different things if you want. Right now it has pitch and roll for some reason, but we can change that if we want, so we can have the radio on that side or whatever. Then you have your media, which also has your Bluetooth, comfort, which is your climate control, phone, vehicle information, power flow, which is very handy, driving history. You have schedules for charging. You have the e-save mode. So e-save, you can have the battery save function. You can also have battery charge. So as you're driving, it will charge the battery. it's intended to plug in. So if you're using this vehicle, I would definitely recommend plugging it in, at least occasionally. But it does have the ability to charge the battery somewhat. All right, so we have off-road pages here, vehicle dynamics, accessory gauges here, pitch and roll. They like to put pitch and roll everywhere. All right, then you have the controls here, basically just a rear view camera in this particular one, which is okay. It doesn't have the 360 camera or anything, but it has active guidelines and good visuals here, and it's a good location, so the backup camera works well. Then you have all your settings here. Lots of different settings. All right, so I'm going to leave it on battery charge for now and see how it goes. The last one here is the apps. So you have media, and it has categorized here: comfort, phone, vehicle, system, other. So yeah, you also have the heated seat and heated steering wheel controls here. They kind of pull down and you can adjust them. Shows you the outside temperature as well. And digital clock, I think it could be a little bit better, like larger and easier to read, but it's right there in that one spot, so you can see it. It's not bad, but I think it'd be, if it was larger and bolder, it'd be a little bit better. So you have the physical buttons down here, climate control. So you have the temperatures for the driver, the passenger, fan speed, heated steering wheel, front and rear defrosters, heated seat. So it's a 3-stage. So you have a little bit of redundancy going on. Volume for the radio, tune through the stations. This button is for max regen. So when you press that, it will give you the maximum regen. It will actually slow the vehicle down. Really handy for going down steep hills and stuff. Mute the radio here. Parking sensors off. Default will be on. So that's the off light. Downhill descent. Screen off. So to turn the screen off, you can touch it, turn it back on. Then down here, the window switches. So it's one touch down, but you have to lift it and hold it for going up on the windows there. 12-volt power supply. This one is switched, unlike the one in the back. And then you have the connectivity here for USB-C, USB-A, and auxiliary inputs. Don't confuse those with auxiliary switches, which you can connect lights and stuff to here. So the Off-Road Plus, okay, we're just going to leave that off because this is for off-road only. But I'm going to put some information in the description what Off-Road Plus does, because it depends on what mode you're in. And I tried to explain that before in the comments, but I'm going to put it in the description, and it's going to explain what Off-Road Plus does depending on what you're doing, and it'll do different things. So you have the axle locker here, so rear axle locker that you can control there. The four-wheel drive controls are here. It has two-wheel drive high, four-wheel drive high auto, and then four-wheel drive high part-time, and then you have neutral, and then four-wheel drive low. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. There's a separate shifter. And then there's the, I'm on dry pavement, so I'm not doing any off-roading right now. It has a little 41 right there on the regular shifter, and it's just a neutral drive. And then you have a manual mode here. Cup holders, engine started up. Cup holders are here, and then you have a little handbrake, parking brake, and a little storage compartment there just below it. So this compartment is locking. You see a little keyhole right here. So that says lockable storage here and there. And also back when you shut the tailgate, it locks that compartment that I lifted up. That's where the charge cable was. So that's another third separate lockable storage. So when you have the tops off and stuff, those are the different lockable places. So this is nice and soft here. And this lifts up, this upper portion. And this is where the toolkit's located right now. And take a look at the toolkit while we're looking at it. So there's the toolkit for basically taking off the doors and stuff like that. So there's a little storage space there. There's a place for wires to go in and out of this compartment. And the secondary compartment has place too. All right, let's lift up the secondary compartment, and you can see the place for wires to go there. And it has a USB port in there as well. Got some stuff in the way. Got my business cards. So there's this little piece right here, and if you fold down the windshield, there's going to be like exposed wires and stuff right here. So you want to go ahead and use this cover to cover that little section up. So that's what that's for. So yeah, this is a pretty decent compartment here as far as the size. Has a little light as well. The rearview mirror has just basically manual day and night mode. There's some buttons up here for roadside assistance, but this is the main one right here. This will be used for retracting the top. We'll get to that in a second. It does have the home light garage door opener controls, and now these visors are they're kind of like a hard plastic in a way. They feel kind of like a vinyl wrap, but really, really tough stuff. There's a little clip here, has a mirror with lights. They extend out as well. So you notice there's no like lights up here. There's no dome light. There's lights right here. So if you need a reading light, you have to reach back here, and it shines kind of like in this, right there in your lap area, I guess. Let's go ahead and retract the top. So we press this button, and we'll see if it's still wet and drip on us. But yeah, basically, it does like the accordion thing, and retracts it all the way back. Like so. So now we have a completely open top here. See what it looks like here from the very top. So there's the little satellite radio antenna, and the GPS antenna is there. It's able to get signal through that soft top. But yeah, it's kind of sealed. It seals up really good. So I've been through some serious rain and car washes and stuff, and not a single drop inside the vehicle. Let's go ahead and close it up. You can see it has that accordion effect. Yeah, so much easier. Just press that, opens and closes. So let's look at the visibility back here. So those headrests, you can fold those down, but they do kind of get in the way. But you know, overall it's okay. I mean, looking over my shoulder and driving the vehicle, hadn't had any really problem with visibility. Now, of course, you have the parking sensors, the blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, backup camera, all that stuff to help you out. But really not really have a problem with driving the vehicle as far as visibility. Since this is a plug-in hybrid, it is able to give you about 22, 23, maybe 24 miles of full electric range. And you're able to monitor it while you're driving here. And you can choose the buttons we saw with the hybrid, electric, or e-save, which will save the electricity and just drive. It'll still use it a little bit, but it'll try to save a good portion of the battery for you for later use. This could be handy if you want to use it on the trail somewhere, and as you're getting to the trail, you want to use the gas, and then when you get to the trail, you can have the electric power, because it does have some low-end torque, and it can help you in off-road situations. Now, when you plug in, it takes about 2 hours to charge from 0 all the way up to, it'll go to about like 99% or 100. So it has a usable range, and it has a total battery capacity of 17.3 kilowatt hours, and the usable capacity is 14.3. So it has a little bit of a buffer on the higher and lower ends for the battery longevity. It takes about 2 hours to charge. It charges at 32 amps. And so, you know, like 14 kilowatt hours, you can estimate how much it's going to cost for you. You know, you can look at your power bill and see how much you're paying for per kilowatt hour. I think mine's like 12 cents, so it's like under $2 to charge it. You know, well under $200, $2. And so yeah, you can plug it in, and you get 23, 24 miles on just electric. Now it also helps out with just saving fuel, you know, so in addition to just the pure electric miles, you also get better fuel economy, you know, based on using that hybrid system. So every time you slow down, it has a blended braking system, and it's able to regenerate electricity back into the battery. So there's a lot less wasted, energy. So you have that forward momentum. It's able to recapture some of that forward momentum as you slow down. So it gives it a better efficiency, and also it helps out. The hybrid system is able to help out a little bit with, you know, propelling you forward. So less gas, less energy, you know, going forward. So you're accelerating and you're braking, all is helped out by having that hybrid system there, in addition to just the, you know, electric miles. But yeah, this is the pretty regular Wrangler experience as far as driving. You have a little bit of wind noise, and this one has the soft top, so which adds a little bit more to the wind noise. And of course, we have an aggressive tire, so since it's a Wrangler, and so we're gonna have a little bit of road noise, that kind of stuff. But overall, I mean, it's easy to drive. It is, you know, I wouldn't say that you can just replace a SUV with this. You know, it's really an off-road focused vehicle, so it's going to have some drawbacks that a normal SUV doesn't have, but it's also going to have some serious capabilities that a regular SUV doesn't have. You know, so yeah, the cost and benefits of the Wrangler are pretty much known. I mean, everybody knows, I suppose. But this one's pretty interesting. It's comfortable cloth seats. It looks nice with that green, and has like the tan, military tan inside, military green look on the outside. Willys, even the wheels have that green look, and the spare tire in the back. It really gets attention. It's really cool. Now having the soft top where you can press a button, it's the powered soft top, so it's not like you have to take it on and off. You just press a button and you're instantly pretty much topless. It's pretty cool. You can also take the doors off if you wanted to, and it comes with a toolkit, which you can fold down the windshield. You can take the doors off and all that stuff. So if you want the open air experience, you can still have it with this powered top. It's not quite as open as the actual soft top or the actual hard top that you remove, but it makes it so much easier to use this system than trying to manually take everything off and put back on. It has a max Jeep regen button here, and when you engage that, helps out a lot with going down hills. So if you're going down, this is just flat level land, which will slow you down quite a bit, but if you're going down a steep hill, especially like coming down the other side of a mountain and you turn on the max regen, that could really help out with recharging your battery, especially if your battery is completely low and then you go downhill with the regen. It'll keep you from going too fast, and it'll charge your battery at the same time. That's pretty cool. So there are scenarios in which you can recharge your battery significantly by using that feature without plugging it in. But so it depends on your situation. If you're going down steep grades regularly, that would be pretty cool with this vehicle, and with that regen system. So yeah, it's really easy to turn it on or off. So it depends on your situation. With the max regen, it will, every time you lift your foot off the accelerator, it's going to charge the battery, but also slow you down significantly. So it does take away from your momentum, So this, in certain off-road conditions, you probably don't want to have it turn on. Also on highways, just a flat, open highway that's not going downhill or anything, it's just gonna, if you don't have the cruise control on, it's gonna just kill your momentum sometimes. So, depending on the situation, the max regen can be useful. But you want to know, get used to it and know when to use it and when to not use it. Control, but it doesn't have any kind of lane keep assist system. And you can choose whether you want the adaptive cruise control or regular cruise control. So there's two separate buttons to turn the system on. You can also choose once you have the adaptive cruise control on, you can set the distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. But yeah, it works well, and it really helps out on highways and stuff. It just doesn't have any kind of lane keep assist system. It doesn't turn the steering wheel or keep you in the lane or anything like that. Feels pretty strong. You can actually tell the difference between the electric, gets you going, but once that little engine revs up, it really kicks in gear, and it just feels strong. But it does take some significant RPMs to get that little engine going with the turbocharger and everything. But you can definitely feel it. You can feel those RPMs as they rise up. You can feel the acceleration kick in more. All right, nobody behind me. I'm just going to accelerate so you can see from a standstill. Yeah. So from a standstill, until the RPMs really get up, you can feel that it's just not that powerful. As soon as that turbocharged 4-cylinder gets the RPMs up and you get a little bit of momentum, then it feels very impressive. Now there's quite a bit of a disconnect between the numbers on paper and the actual experience driving the vehicle. So when I see on paper this vehicle has 375 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque, and then I drive it, I'm like, nope. No, it doesn't. I'm not even going to pay attention to that. I'm going to just assess the vehicle based on, its driving capabilities and all that. Because if you think that you're going to have this, like, feeling like you're driving a Scat Pack Challenger or something like that, because that's the numbers we're talking about, it's not going to be anything like that. It feels fun and strong and fun vehicle to drive, and it's very capable and everything. But yeah, those numbers are they're not. Don't pay attention to those numbers. Take it for a test drive for yourself and see if it's going to drive the way you like it to drive, and don't get too hung up on the actual specifications as far as the horsepower numbers, because probably technically there is some times in which this vehicle has a lot of horsepower and torque, but it maybe in a low range or something like that. But as far as just normal driving, you're not going to experience anything close to that level of power delivery like other vehicles that have the actual power delivery.